again guys, it's Carly from the Poetry of Nice and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello! This is a channel all about selling online. So I personally sell on Poshmark, eBay and Etsy, and I do that while being a stay-at-home parent. So this channel is a whole bunch of like work-life balance, hauls and sales videos, and tips and tricks and all kinds of other stuff in between. So if that sounds interesting to you, please do think about hitting that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to say hello in the comments so that I can say hi back. Speaking of work-life balance, this video is going to be just like a little casual chit chat about that, about balancing work and life. So I can only really speak to, you know, my own personal experience and how I run things in my household and with my business. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about sort of my daily life a little bit and how I go ahead very specifically trying to balance this business that I run, and I run it from home. I'm a work-at-home parent, and how I manage to get the other stuff done as well. For those of you that don't know, like I said, I have my eBay business. I'm also a homeschooling parent. I have 3 kids, 3 boys, 6, 4 and 2. And like I said, I homeschool here at home, obviously. And because of that, there really needs to be some kind of structure in place to make sure that I get everything done that I need to do. I'm not neglecting anything, and also that I don't go insane. So my day starts pretty early. It usually starts around 6:30, although I am contemplating making that a little bit earlier still. And that is my time to get up. I would love to say that my kids stay in bed and this is quiet time in the morning where I can just like relax or prepare for the day or do some stuff, but it's not. They know when I'm up, they sense it like Spider-Man with his spidey senses, and they get up too. So no matter what time I get up, they're kind of like up, at least one of them, the middle one specifically, is up and following me around. So I usually get up and kind of get some stuff ready for them, you know, like some cereal or whatever, and get them in place. And then sometimes if my husband is able to, he will get up and he will sort of act as the go-to parent. So, you know, getting the cereal, cleaning up the cereal, doing all of that good stuff. And if that's the case, it makes my life so much easier. But generally this time of the morning from early until sort of like 9 o'clock-ish is my work time. This is like my work day. And so I will do some listings. I will always have prepared items the day before, like in the evening. So I have items that are freshly photographed and they're ready to just be like measured and the listing filled out and going up on both eBay, Poshmark and sometimes Etsy. And so that's what I do. I do at least 5 listings a day. That is my absolute minimum. I try and push it to more. It really just depends how the time frame is working out for me. And then that's also my time to do things like share some of my closet or share like PFF's closets. If I need to do things like set up sales or process some returns, open up some cases, all of that kind of stuff, all in the spectrum of my business, it all happens in that first chunk of the day. So then after that, you know, we've had breakfast and we've all kind of like gotten to grip with the fact that we're awake. And that's pretty much when homeschool usually starts. So it's going to be in the morning. Now, sometimes I do homeschool for the whole morning and then it's done. And sometimes I split it up. And this really depends on my 6-year-old. He's a kindergartner. It depends how he's responding and how he's doing. If he's starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed, or he's not losing interest, but he's showing some signs of like frustration, that kind of stuff, that's when I'll kind of like pull it back a little bit. Ooh, the lighting's doing weird stuff, I'm sorry about that. Then I'll pull it back a little bit and we'll split it into different periods of the day, just so that it's not, like I said, overwhelming for him, because then it's not fun for anybody. So homeschool is my next priority, and then comes nap time. My 2-year-old still naps, the other 2 do not. And usually he naps in my arms. That's terrible, I know. That's time that could be used productively to do other things. However, he's my last baby and he just sleeps best there, and so that is also a really good excuse for me to sit down in a chair for like an hour with a cup of coffee, and while I'm sort of like holding him or whatever, I can just relax. Otherwise, quite frankly, I don't think I do it at all. So nap time's out of the way, I've chilled out a little bit, and then usually we're getting towards lunchtime. So we do lunch, everyone's fed, everyone's good, and then like I said, in the afternoon, that's usually going to come back around to some more homeschooling. Otherwise, if we have like appointments or we have, you know, play dates, grocery shops, whatever, the afternoon is the time when that kind of stuff does get done. And then after that, it's pretty much like the next business related thing that I do is I pull all my shipping for the things that I have sold that day, and I'll go ahead and package them up, print labels, set up my USPS pickup all that kind of stuff, as well as, like I mentioned in the beginning, photographing at least 5 items, if not more, ready for the next morning for it all to start over again. Then we deal with dinner, we deal with cleanup, we deal with putting babies to bed and making them stay in those beds. And then the evening becomes a little bit of a catch-all in a way. So it is time, obviously, for my husband and I to hang out and spend some time together. It is also time for me to catch up on any work-related things that maybe I missed. And it's also time for me that I call like personal development, as it were. I have some career aspirations outside of reselling necessarily. I love my business. I am so incredibly thankful for it. And I'm also very blessed to be homeschooling my children and to have the ability, the opportunity to do that. However, there are things, passion projects, if you like, that I also would like to pursue. So that is where I will take like some online classes, or I'll practice some skills. And sometimes I do that during the afternoon as well, if I can do it in a way that isn't like ignoring my children. But overall, that kind of gets shifted towards the end of the day. So we're looking at the morning sort of chunk, the early morning chunk being like business, what has to get done. We're looking at the daytime chunk as just like being mama and homeschooling and doing all of the household, you know, laundry, cleaning, blah blah blah, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And we're looking at the evening as being more of a kind of like some downtime, but also some kind of like, this is where we focus on some personal goals, essentially. And that's how my day runs. That's Monday to Friday. Saturday is a bit of a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff, but I don't usually list on a weekend. I used to do it. I used to push through, and when we're in the like yard sale and rummage sale season, I'll use every Saturday morning basically to go out and source, to pick up thrifted items to sell online. But as of right now in winter, just want to hang out really with my people. Some things that have really helped me in this is setting that alarm a little bit earlier and making sure that I get up. It's a little bit difficult sometimes because my kids do not all sleep through the night yet. We kind of have a musical bed situation that happens, and so sometimes I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed, like at all. But if I push myself, it usually sets the tone for the day really, really well. And when I know that I've gotten my work, like my kind of, you know, money making, if you like, sort of out of the way, or at least have set a foundation for that, I usually feel a lot more relaxed throughout the day, and then I'm a lot more productive as well. Also, the crock pot. Thank the Lord for the crock pot. That has been something that has been so helpful for me. I know it sounds bizarre, but being able to throw like just some meat and veggies in a crock pot first thing in the morning and putting it on like low for the whole day, that has completely taken out like a 45-minute cooking session in the afternoon / evening for dinner for me. This is actually huge for me personally, because that gives me the opportunity to do, like I said, my shipping and my photography, where I'm not feeling like I'm trying to do this but I'm also watching a stove, or I'm running here, there and everywhere. It's just been really helpful to basically remove that task from the list. It's also been really helpful because, quite frankly, dinner time is what I refer to as the witching hour in my house, and that's when all my kids start to lose their minds simultaneously. And this is when like the bickering goes up a notch and chores need to be done, like cleaning bedrooms, and they don't want to be. So this is more of an opportunity for me to like invest myself in those, instead of, again, trying to watch like pots and pans and do this and chop raw meat and blah blah blah, and then, you know, feel like I'm basically being pulled in 7 different directions. And that's it. My main tip would just be to plan ahead a little bit. Give yourself grace. You're not going to do everything necessarily every single day. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home parent, or if you're someone who works full-time, who has maybe some health issues of your own, maybe takes care of a family member with health issues, you know, in a carer position. If you homeschool, if you have small kids, if you have older kids and lots of other responsibilities, if you're in school, it doesn't matter. We all have a lot of different things that we have to attend to in life. And so this is just my little routine that I found that gives me the most like peace, if you like, and also lets me achieve the most that I can from each and every day. So I hope that this was interesting. Let me know down below. I would really like to learn from you guys how you manage your time, how you feel like you get that work-life balance so that you're not feeling like overwhelmed, because that's something I do struggle with. I do feel overwhelmed quite a lot. So please share your tips and your tricks and your insights. I would love to read them. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you are new here and this was something that interests you, or you think you might like to learn more about reselling online, please do think about hitting that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to say hello in the comments so I can say hi back too. Alright you guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Have the most wonderful week.